So, Steve, start off with you back in Luton. You find out Tranmere are obviously interested in you. Was that an easy move? I know it was obviously difficult having family so far away.
It was a tough one to leave. I was enjoying my time down there and I was playing some good football, so it was a tough decision, but one that I needed to make for some family reasons and stuff like that. And obviously when you're at a club like Tranmere, as big as Tranmere are interested, it's flattering, and it turned out to be a good move in the end.
Yeah, obviously dropping down a level, but you'd done that before when you'd left Barrow to join Fleetwood, and obviously you mentioned then the size of Tranmere. You always knew that Tranmere would go back up. Yeah,
I think I'd done that with Fleetwood when I went to Luton as well. I think we were in League Two and Luton were in the conference, so obviously the size of the clubs, they're always very ambitious and want to get back into the league and stuff like that. So dropping down a division was nothing that ever crossed my mind.
Just one win, I think, in the first 7 games when you arrived in the. I think you arrived in October. Rovers obviously key ambition was to get back into the Football League. Was you starting to think that maybe it's not as easy as it should be, or obviously experiencing them leagues, you knew it was always going to be tough anyway?
As you say, I've got experience at that level, and I always knew it was a tough division. It's not one that you can just think, oh, we're Tranmere Rovers or we're Luton Town, and everyone's going to roll over for you, because they're coming to proper league grounds, and even though they are in the conference and it's their cup final as such, they always up the game that 10% and stuff like that. So, and it's always tough to get out that division because it's only one up, one up through the automatic, and then one through the playoffs, and everyone's been banging a drum for years and years, saying it should be 3 up, 3 down, but the league clubs won't vote on that. But yeah, it's always a tough division to get out of. Non-league, I don't think it gets the credit it deserves.
You got back into the playoff pack, if you like, but 2 defeats in the final few games, Wrexham and Welling, meant you missed out on the playoffs. Was that difficult to digest over the summer as players? Does that stay with you over the summer?
Yeah, it always stays with you. Your main aim for the season, obviously I come and it was to get promoted, and obviously we missed out on it, and you can be disappointed for a couple of weeks, but then you've got to dust yourself down and get your preparations right for the following season. And we obviously knew going into that season that we'd have another great chance.
The new season comes, a few ups and downs. Gary Brabham lost his position, but that paved the way for Mickey Mellon, the manager you'd worked for before at Fleetwood. As a player, I'm sure you were saddened to see the loss of Gary Brabham, but having worked with Mickey Mellon before, was that an exciting time for the club?
Yeah, it was. It's never nice to see a manager lose his job, and I think as a group of players, you've got to take some sort of responsibility for that. And we did that as a group, and you can't always just point the finger at the manager. But as you say, a manager was coming in that I'd worked under. I knew him really well. He knew me really well. So it was exciting that I knew that he was coming in. 95 points would generally be enough to get a team the title in the National League, but second this time to Lincoln going into the playoffs, so a delay to your summer, but I'm sure you were confident this time you could get the job done. Yeah, you always go into them, always the form team, normally the favourites going into them, and I think we're going into them, on a good run of form and a good run of results, so we always going in there confident, we were confident as a group, as a group of players.
Forest Green, not your first playoff final, but I'm right in saying your first time at Wembley for a playoff final?
No, it was my first playoff final, yeah. All the other times that I played, I'd been fortunate enough to win the league with the likes of Luton and Fleetwood out the conference.
Did you not do the playoffs with Barrow?
That went in the conference, though. That was in the Conference North we come through yet. So obviously I played in a playoff final.
The first time at Wembley?
First time at Wembley, first time in the playoffs in the conference, yeah.
Was there an air of excitement? I mean, you always come across as a no-nonsense player. It wouldn't matter if it was a park field or a national stadium. It's still a team in front of you. But was there an air of excitement playing at the National Stadium?
Yeah, because obviously it was the first time I'd ever played there, and first time I'd ever been there, to be honest with you. I'd never been there to watch a game either, so it was exciting, but you just can't let that get the better of you. You're going there on the day to try and do a job and and get Tranmere Rovers promoted.
Behind early, but Connor Jennings with a wonder strike gets us back in it, but it was the few minutes before half time that caught us out, if you like. What was the mood in the dressing room like at 3-1 at half time?
You know, it was a bit downbeat. You know, obviously you don't want to go in, you know, 2 goals behind, but you know, obviously we went in and you know we tried to regroup. You know, we sat down, spoke about things we wanted to try and change in the second half, and you know, Mickey had a plan, and you know, we went out and tried to do that, but you know, we weren't fortunate enough to get the job done on the day.
Yeah, huffing and puffing, chances coming and going, but not quite getting over the line. So once again, your summer in a way is affected. You said before you take it with you as players. Does it hurt even more? Obviously last night you just missed out on the playoffs, but this time you've actually missed out in the final game.
Yeah, it was the worst day of my football career, and being honest with you. It was a tough one to swallow. I've said it before in other interviews, you know, the confidence was so high, you know, I didn't even contemplate losing on that day. You know, I was going there, you know, full of confidence and, you know, hoping and thinking that we could get the job done, and you know, it was a kick in the teeth, to be honest with you. It was a tough one to swallow, and I just didn't surface for about 2 weeks after. You know, it was really tough one to take.
Return from the off-season, refreshed, ready to do battle again. How much pressure was there on this squad now to get Tranmere out of the National League?
I think playing for a club like Tranmere, you know, there's always going to be pressure on you. You know, they're a big club. They want to climb back up the leagues. They want to get back into the Football League. So, you know, I think every player that comes there, you know, you've got to expect to have pressure on you, because as a club and, you know, as a group of players, you know, you're expected to, you know, to be in and around the promotion places, and, you know, you actually, you know, get promoted too.
It can be a tough audience, Tranmere fans, but again, that comes with expectation, of course, and they're not used to being down in the National League. But again, not the greatest to start. I think we're down in 17th position at one point in the season. I think it was a third of the season gone down to 17. When did it actually start to click that season?
I don't know, my memory's terrible, but...
How does it click?
It doesn't. I just think, you know, we had, you know, a turnaround of players and stuff like that. So, you know, we were always confident as a group that, you know, it was only a matter of time before it clicked, and we did start climbing the table, and, you know, lucky enough it did, and, you know, there was too much talent and, you know, too much experience in that group, you know, for it not to click, and, you know, thankfully it did click, and, you know, we went on a good run.
I was going to say that, a great run, secured second place again, the bridesmaid, this time to Macclesfield, and a helter-skelter against Ebbsfleet at Prenton Park in the semi-final. We come through that, and then it was Boreham Wood, but this time it felt a little different, certainly from where I was. Forest Green, everyone had smiles on their face. It was a sunny day at Wembley. This time it seemed there was an air of concentration etched on every player's face. I certainly noticed that in the build-up to Wembley, doing the interviews with players, there was a focus.
Yeah, I think that comes with experience, doesn't it? You know, there's a lot of us that had never played at Wembley before, and, you know, as a group we got together. You know, the manager went in the meeting, but, you know, we had a meeting and said that we didn't want to come back on the bus, you know, feeling the way we did the year before. So, we were determined, and, you know, we knew that, you know, we weren't going there just to make the numbers up and enjoy ourselves. We had to go there and do a job, and we had to get the job finished this time.
1 minute in, Liam Ridehouse gets sent off. Is there any part of the back of your mind thinking, here we go again?
Yeah, of course there is, yeah, because we played them a few weeks before, or maybe a couple of months before away, you know, and they battered us, to be honest with you. Like, you know, they give us a football lesson, you know. I'm sitting here, you know, and, you know, I'm happy enough to say that they absolutely battered us, you know, and we were lucky enough to get away with the score, whatever the score was. But yeah, someone gets sent off after a minute, you do obviously think, here we go again, you know, 11 against 10 on, you know, on a big stage and on a big massive pitch. You know, we obviously thought, you know, it might not be our day again. And
Cookie gets us in front, but a load of injury time at the end of the first half. I think I can quote Mickey Mellon saying, I think they scored in the 61st minute of the first half. Boreham Wood, he'd already used all his 3 substitutions, injuries and reshuffling and what have you. What said at half time by Mickey, by Jacko, by yourself as the skipper?
We just went in, you know, obviously it was a bit of a body blow because we've gone ahead, and then you're thinking to yourself on the pitch, you know, we're trying to get the message out to all the players, you know, let's just get through the first half, we'll go in 1-0 and then we'll sit down and we'll regroup and stuff like that. So, you know, it was a body blow to go in, you know, they scored right before half time, and, you know, we just went in and we had to just keep everyone calm. You know, Mickey you know, he had a game plan. You know, we were going to sit back, and you know, we had pace up front with, you know, with James, and you know, we had Cookie up there, we had Connor Jennings and stuff like that. So we always knew that we could get a chance if we kept the door shut, you know, at the other end. And you know, lucky enough, that's what we done, and you know, that was the game plan.
Yeah, Connor Jennings supplying Norwood for the goal. So following the final whistle, there's an explosion of elation. Even Mickey Mellon running from the dugout rather than usual handshake straight away. It was almost like a sense of relief.
Yeah, it was. I think it was just a massive relief for everyone. You know, everyone connected to the club, for the manager, for all the players. You know, and relief that, you know, we weren't going home on a bus, you know, defeated again. So as you say, it was a massive club. I think there was massive pressure on the manager, massive pressure on the players as well. And you know, as you said, it was just a massive relief.
I said most of the players run over to the Tranmere end, but you were on the halfway, and I think Norwood was as well. And there was a little coming together with Luke Garrard, the Bournemouth manager. I've got to ask, because I'm nosy like that, and I've never asked you before. What was all that about?
It was a bit of a misunderstanding, to be honest with you. I thought they were saying something to James Norwood, but I think he was congratulating him, and I just got the wrong end of the stick. You know, me coming over, just trying to protect one of your players and stuff like that. But you know, it was all sorted out. You know, we had a drink in the bar after it when we went upstairs.
So a season of a summer, and obviously this is the first time now in 3 years you can enjoy your summer. Was it more relaxing? Do you enjoy a holiday and chill out with the family?
Yeah, I think all I've done for about 4 or 5 weeks was drink. You know, I think your career's so short, and you know, if you're fortunate enough, you know, you don't really get many days like that. So, you know, when they do come along, you've just got to forget everything and, you know, enjoy them for the moment, and you know, enjoy what you've done. And you know, I think as a group of players, we did go and do that.
A season of ups and downs for you then would follow in the final season. Not in the squad for games. Was that a tough period for you? I'm sure you still believed you had a lot more to offer.
Yeah, I was carrying a knock, and then I come out the team, and the team went on a great run again. So I had no qualms about that. I didn't have, you know, any ammunition to go and knock on the manager's door. You know, I was always having conversations with the manager about it and about things and that. And it was tough sitting and watching, because it's probably the first time it's ever happened in my career. Well, it is the first time it's ever happened in my career. You know, I've always been used to training all week and playing on a Saturday. But as you say, you know, I couldn't moan or groan about it, because the team were on a great run at the time. And if I was the manager at the time, I wouldn't have changed the side to put me back in either. And
you get the nod from Mickey in, of all games, the final against Newport. I think with 82 minutes gone, Kieran Morris comes off. Steve McNulty goes on. Does he need to say anything to you? I mean, you've been working with him a long time. He knows what to expect. You know what to expect from yourself. But is there a message from him when you go on?
No, he just said go on and do what you do. That was about it. You know, that was the only word he said to me on the touchline. He obviously knows what I'm good at, and you know, I knew why he was putting me on the pitch at the time. You know, so to calm things down, you know, get me experience out there, you know, and to organise the team. And you know, thankfully, you know, he put me on, and we did get the job done. But you know, it was a massive decision from him, and a very brave decision. You know, so you know, but it all worked out well.
It looked like it was going to penalties. Would you have took one?
Normally I would have done, yeah, but we've been practicing all week, and I've been blazing them over the bar. So on the day, I probably wouldn't have known.
Well, thankfully, penalties weren't needed. Connor Jennings popped up, headed Rovers into League One. What was that feeling like? Was it more satisfying than the Boreham Wood one? Because I think Boreham Wood, everyone expects Tranmere out of the National League, but I don't think many people would have expected a back-to-back promotion.
No, it was obviously different, you know, because you know you're the big team in the conference, and you're expected to get, you know, promoted from the conference. But as you say, you know, as a group of players, when the League Two season started, you know, we were quietly confident that, you know, we could nick in the playoffs. We weren't stupid enough saying that we were going to go in there and we were going to get promoted and run away with the league, because we knew it was a tough division. But you know, as a group of players, you know, we were quietly confident that, you know, maybe, you know, there's a chance that we could nick in the playoffs. But I just say, I think that one was better, because you're just not expected to do it, you know, and it's not the same pressure on you. You can enjoy the day a bit more, because you know, there isn't that much pressure on yourself. So and obviously I was sitting watching as well, so I could enjoy it even more. But yeah, no, it was good. You know, both of them are special for, you know, for different reasons.
So that obviously spelled the end of your Rovers career. But looking back on your time at Rovers, did it fill you with smiles when you look back?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not one to sit about and live in the past and start talking to talk to them about people and that. But they're things that will live with me forever, and the things that no one can ever take away from you.
And what's your favourite one then? Would it be Boreham Wood having your girls at Wembley?
Yeah, they obviously missed they missed they've missed a couple of them, so it was a very special moment to have them there. They were there. I don't think they were there the Boreham Wood one. They were there the
Newport.
The Newport. Yeah, the year we got promoted. Yeah, they were there the Newport one. Yeah, and they might have been there the Boreham Wood one.
I think they were. I think you done an interview pitch side, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you said my girls are here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's special to have all your family there. So I think the first year when we lost, there was about four minibuses went down, like, you know what I mean, and then we lost, and a lot of them didn't come back the second year. It was just obviously close family and stuff like that. So it was nice to have everyone there, and they can enjoy it with you, because at the end of the day, that you're doing it for them. So it was great.
And again, another summer so you can relax.
Yes.
Top man, Steve.